This video is for people who are married. This video is not, however, for the person who is married and your spouse has unfortunately cheated on you, committed adultery specifically, and the marriage is coming to a close, or it perhaps has already come to a close. But this video is for someone who is married, their husband has cheated on them, or their wife has cheated on them, and they still want their marriage. They still desire God to restore their marriage. First, what I want to be able to say, if you're listening to this video and you're rolling your eyes, or perhaps you're sitting there like, I would never take a person back. Well, God is never going to talk to you about another person's husband, and God is never going to talk to you about another person's wife in this particular area. So that may assist you with why you may not can connect with this. But I want to speak to that wife. Your husband has cheated on you. I want to speak to that husband. Your wife has cheated on you. You want them back. You want them back. And if you're listening to this video, I don't want you to be ashamed. I don't want you to feel guilty. I don't want you to be worried about other people. What I want you to do, and what I need for you to do, for you to stay focused on what God has called you to do in this situation. Now, I know you've been crying. You got a lot of sleepless nights. You're dealing with all types of situations, and even more so if you have children, that you're now wrapping your head around the possibility of becoming a single parent. You have a right to feel what you feel. You have a right to feel what you feel. Don't let other people judge you. Now, I want you to dry your tears. I want you to stop, seething in your anger. Let me say that again. I want you to stop seething in your anger, talking under your breath, being upset, saying the wrong words in your brain that you don't think that other people because other people can't hear you, but God can hear you. What I want you to do is that if you are in agreement that you want your marriage to be restored, roll up your sleeves and begin to do the hard work. If your spouse is in agreement, and I believe that they are, you both need to find someone, get in a therapeutic environment, be committed to the length of time, do not rush the process, and be willing to accept your part of the situation. You didn't cheat, they cheated. But it does take two to tango. You understand what I'm saying? It takes two to tango. So I'm not saying that you're to blame for someone else making a bad decision, like committing adultery, like cheating. But what I am saying to you, it takes two to tango. You want your marriage back? Work for it. You're going to work for it. Right now, you're walking in a rose patch, a rose bush. Okay? You're going to get pricked all over. You're going to get pricked. But when you come up out of that, when these rose bushes and these thorns and these thistles, they're now going to be battle scars that God will be able to use your new marriage, your newly restored marriage, for greater things in His kingdom. You can't spend every day crying. So work through the pain, because you need to grieve about what has happened. You need to grieve those wedding vows. When you stood at the altar, and when your spouse stood at the altar and you both proclaimed, you need to grieve that. But now you need to keep pressing forward. Be ready to do the work. Be ready to hear things. Be open to the tools that whoever that you are choosing to assist you and your spouse walk through this awful journey. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Be willing to get constructive feedback about yourself. God desires to restore your marriage. Now, for someone that's listening to this video and your spouse cheated and you got the divorce and you moved on, God bless you. God bless you. I'm not judging you. God bless you. You do what you needed to do. You do what you need to do. But what I am saying to you is don't judge that other marriage, that other wife, or that other husband who is choosing to roll their sleeves up, and they're going to get into the battle. And they're walking through all kinds of rose bushes, thorns and thistles that's gonna prick them for a long time. It's gonna prick them for a long time. It's going to prick them for a long time. So I would ask that you pray for these marriages, these people who want their husband back despite what happened. You pray and cancel and denounce that shame and that guilt that comes with this type of situation. Now, after you get in a therapeutic environment, you and your spouse walk through the journey together. Be an open vessel. Let God move through the situation. Don't rush people. Be patient. Don't blame your spouse for everything all day long. And be willing to have an open heart, open eyes, open ears to really hear, to really see, and to really believe what really took place. You need to talk about the person that they committed the adultery with, but don't make that the main conversation for 2 years. Expose it, talk about it, deal with it. And move on. And make sure as your newly restored marriage comes into fruition that you have the proper guardrails in place. So for the person who did the cheating, if your spouse needs certain things to feel secure as they're healing, you need to be able to respond to that. And don't you say, I don't want you looking at my phone. You gotta trust me. You gotta trust me. Listen, be open, be willing. And for the person who has been cheated on, you cannot hold this over their head for the rest of their life. Remember, Jesus died on the cross. And I don't need to tell you the other two that was hanging on the other crosses. I'm going to let you go back and re-examine it for yourself. Don't hold it over their heads for the rest of their life. All right, so dry your tears up. And when you are done grieving, stop talking under your breath, being mad. Stop doing the tit for tat. Stop shutting down. Face this adultery together. God bless you both. And I know God is going to do some amazing things in this newly restored marriage. Don't give up on God, because God won't give up on your marriage. Until we meet again.